He is the head coach at Northern Kentucky, head basketball coach. They're going dancing. This guy's got to be loving life. First year D1, first year eligible, I should say. D1 last year, and they win the conference tournament. John Brannen is with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
You got it. So, if I have this right, this is your third year with the team, right?
Second.
Oh, it is your second. Okay. And before you, when you guys were still D2, it's not like you were going 25-5. What is the first step when you take over a program that has this vision to jump from the level that you were to the level that you're at? What's the first thing you do?
It's interesting. I took over the program. They were 3 years into their Division One transition when I took over, and we were in the Atlantic Sun League, and so they had mostly made up of Division Two recruitment. And then when I got the job, they decided they were going to go in the Horizon League, which, for those who know conference affiliations, is a pretty big jump from a mid-major conference. So not only did we have transition from Division Two to Division One, but we also had transition within conference. And taking over the program coming from Alabama, our focus was to build culture the first year and to recruit our tails off with mostly high school kids and some Division One transfers in hopes that we could continue to build this thing over a period of time. And then this year, it clicked. It became a team of destiny, to be honest with you.
Okay, so as you said, it's an interesting plan, and it's obviously worked out. You're not getting the 5-star kid yet. Probably don't even have a 4-star kid on the roster. I don't imagine yet.
Right. That's right.
Okay, but you're getting those 2s and 3s, maybe kids who kind of fall through the cracks, whatever, a transfer here and there. But what is the recruiting pitch to the player? It's one thing to have the vision for the staff. When you sit down with a kid now, and really even probably more specifically last year or 2 years ago, what are you saying? I mean, why would that kid believe you?
Catch the vision. That's really what we talked about. Catch the vision. Come here, be the first to do something. Our thing is, very rarely do you have the chance to be significant in your life. You'll be significant to your family. But outside of that, when do you get a chance to make a mark and be significant? If you come here and take Northern Kentucky University to a championship, you'll be legendary because you'll be the first to ever do it. And that's what our young men have done, and it's amazing what this community has done to rally around them.
That scares some kids, I would imagine, the enormity of that. And it's enticing on one level, but I'm sure it scares a few kids away who don't want that challenge.
And Tiki will tell you this, and I don't want them because we have guys that are they want to step up to the challenge and want to be something and want to be significant, and that's what we sold: catch the vision, be significant. And if you want to do that, you have an opportunity. Then the other thing is you get a chance to come in and play right away. I mean, we had a great freshman class. We're one of the youngest teams in the country. So, you kind of get a chance to put that all together, and we had good players returning, and it was great chemistry.
Yeah, getting some early burns, a nice recruiting tool. Talking to John Brannen, head coach of the North Kentucky Norse. How about the nickname, by the way, going dancing with us here on Tiki?
That's actually pretty cool. Coach, tell me about some of these kids, because I read, obviously because you have to read, because it's not front page news with Northern Kentucky. Well, now maybe, because you're in the tournament, and if you do well, people will be paying closer attention. But I'm reading about you, and it's like you get drafted, you get signed on April 6th, April 7th. You're right back on the recruiting path, and you're after some of these kids. One being Carson Williams. Tell me tell me about some of these guys who we're going to see in the tournament now that you guys have won the conference.
We got some unique connections. Our first team all-conference center was coached in high school by my brother, so that helps. And then Carson Williams was Mr. Basketball, who, when I was at Alabama, I had him down to our elite camp. And, you know the recruiting starts with that when you're a young age, so I stayed in contact with him. And then Levon Holland, a kid from Louisville, is just a dynamic guard. One of my assistants had a connection there, and we were able to bring him out of junior college. And then we brought a transfer with us from Alabama. Personal relationships. I mean, guys that believe in you before you have the opportunity to prove to them anything. And when you have those things, then you got a chance to build trust. And then once they got here, they just fell in love with the place. But I mean, Tiki, you've gone through it, man, the recruiting process. It's connections, and then once you win, it opens up more doors.
Yeah, exactly. And once you get in front of someone and they connect, it's all about connecting and having the ability to connect with a person. I think that's life. That's everything. That's politics. That's sports, certainly. But what's your message right now to them? Because obviously they never expected to be on the stage they're about to step into. What are you telling them?
Well, it's interesting. Trust is our number one focus. Our entire program is built around trust, and we define trust as investing and believing in each other without knowing the outcome. So this team believed and invested in each other without having any idea what the outcome would be. I mean, the coaches said, hey, we got a chance to win a championship. Now that that's come to fruition, they're running through walls for everybody. So now it's like, okay, there's a belief, there's a trust within our program, there's a toughness within our program. And I think now it's the opportunity to go on the national stage and play against an opponent that obviously will be a high major team. And I believe in our guys. We'll be a tough matchup for anybody we play against. So I got to bring them down a little bit today. Today will be our first practice back from winning a championship, and we're going to start narrowing their focus. And then Sunday, all the plans will start to fall into place as we find out who we play.
One of the things, John, I don't know why I do this, but I tend to do it a lot. I will pick a random school, and I'm on your way. Not that you're random to you, but maybe to the rest of the country, a bit random still. And I'll go to the facilities page, and I played baseball in college. I like to see which fields were better. I don't know why I do this. And then I'll kind of just look at the weight training, like if they have crew. I mean, I'll just look at the facilities. And one thing I noticed, and I'll do this for every school, I noticed that the track team at Northern Kentucky runs at Valhalla. Is that the Valhalla that I think? And if so, you getting out there playing some golf?
No, that's in Louisville. So that's a little far away.
Wait, shut it up.
Maybe I need that in my next contract or every trip to Valhalla. No, the track team doesn't have a track, so that's tough.
challenging.
Our guys compete for championships without a track. Now our facility is unbelievable. We got a 9,500 seat brand new facility that'll rival anybody in the country.
I'm looking at it now. That's let's see, BB&T Arena, right?
BB&T Arena, that's right.
And that's relatively new. What do you?
2007.
Oh, 2007. Nice. It's crazy though, Coach, because the arms race, kids want to know. Am I Under Armour? Am I Nike? Am I Adidas? Where am I playing? The facilities, the arms race. It's paramount that you try to keep up.
It really is, and I tell you, when I experienced it in the SEC, it was probably more so the mid-major level. We have the nicest facility in our league, and I think that's a big part of it. But I tell you what, in terms of winning championships, it doesn't come down to facilities. It comes down to a lot of times tradition, which we necessarily don't have in the Division I level. But it comes down to, can you make that connection, as Tiki said? Can you build those relationships, and can you build that culture? And now we have a chance to expand on it because we're building a little, if you will, a little bit of tradition. And we do have a nice facility. But at the end of the day, we talk about it's not the bricks and mortar that are on the campus that'll make it. It's about the connections you make with your teammates and the people in the program.
Coach, what's the fan base like there? Are you guys sold out every night?
Good
I mean,
question.
is there a lot of support? I mean, obviously there will be now, but what has it been like?
That's a great question. Now we're 6 miles from Xavier in Cincinnati, and we're an hour and 15 minutes from the University of Kentucky.
Wow.
So we're in a basketball-crazed area. When I got here, the fan base had their toes in the water. And as they figured out that this program was on the rise this season, we started to develop crowds of 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people. So we're about in that range right now.
Nice.
Do you expect to play in the first four, and does it matter?
No, we won't be. I don't think so. We're 24-10 in a pretty solid mid-major conference. I'd like to get a 14 seed, but we'll be in that 14-15 range.
When kids hatch this dream of reaching these athletic heights, obviously Tiki did it. What they dream about is probably quite different than what coaches dream about. But I would imagine, as you were grinding, because as you work your way up the coaching ranks, it's not easy. I know you had a lot of stops where you weren't making much money. I get it. You get ready to talk to your team before you hit the tunnel to sprint out to the layup line for your first NCAA tournament game as the head coach. Have you thought in your head yet what you say, how you say it, crafting, any specific quotes? How do you do that as a coach?
You know what? One of the things we've talked about is be where your feet are, just kind of live in the moment. And the challenge that I had before the championship game of our conference tournament, that's our Final Four. That you're cutting the nets down that night.
Yeah.
Either that or you're going home and heading back to the hotel and get on the bus and leaving. And our thing was don't think about the outcome. Divorce yourself from the outcome. Live totally in the moment, possession to possession. And that's really the approach we've taken. That's the approach we'll take into the NCAA tournament.
That's boring. Come on. Nobody wants to hear that, Coach. Go on.
I know it is. It's like out of a book, but I'm telling you, you guys are both athletes. It works.
Yeah.
Well, no, he is.
Look, we live by cliches.
Baseball.
We live by
not an athlete.
Yeah, but you played in college. That's all that
You're the
matters.
athlete.
You live by cliches, and you just can't help it in sports. It's what you do. Now you've had some experience in the tournament when you were at VCU as an assistant, and so you've been to the stage before. I'm trying to think, like, for a small school like yours, you're not going to have a ton of fans, fans there rooting you on. There'll be some people there, obviously, the families.
But if they
and things
grab
of
the
that
early
nature.
lead, that arena is going to start rooting for the Norse. It always happens.
There you go. That's what happens.
You know
at
what I'm saying?
VCU, that's my point. So
Uh-huh.
at VCU, it was kind of similar. I mean, when Shaka got there and everything else, it was, hey, let's root for the underdog. Are you going to have to depend on that when you get to wherever you guys are, whatever region you guys are in?
Well, if as long as you don't play Kentucky, because they buy up all the
That's
tickets,
a good
the
point.
fan base, you're not turning that crowd. But I've experienced that. When we played in 2007, we were, I guess, an 11 seed, 12 seed. We beat Duke in the first round. It was okay. It's the second half. It's close, and now you turn the entire crowd towards you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If you can get into the second half and keep the game close and things like that, then things flip, and all of a sudden you gain a home court advantage when you're an underseeded team in the first or second round of the tournament.
It happens every year, and it's special when it does. Talking to John Brannen, the head coach, Northern Kentucky. First dance, just a great story. So, Coach, we're the same age, and this came up somewhat organically before. Listen, are you a Bob Dylan fan? We got to know this here. Are you a big Dylan guy, honestly? Because Tiki and I are not at all.
You know what? I'm not. I thought I barely missed that at 43, but I'm not a huge Bob Dylan fan. I'm in the same boat as you guys.
There we go. So if you got to rock one CD or something in your headphones before you get off the team bus, what is Coach Brannen going to listen to?
Woo.
What do you got?
Your guys' radio show, probably.
Nice.
I would
like
say, some motivational, so probably something that involves Rocky, one of the Rocky theme songs.
I like that. I knew I
more my
liked
age.
this guy. All right.
Hey,
How about a little No Easy Way Out when he gets in the
it's a good one.
Lamborghini and he has the flashback? That's a great scene. That's what you got to
That's
go
a great.
for.
I used to play that on the way to the gym when I used to be an athlete.
Me too. I still do. It's on my phone. I swear to God.
Because BT still thinks he's an athlete. Hey, I'm looking at the website now, your home website, and you guys are having like a Selection Sunday party.
Oh yeah,
right. You guys go to that, right? And hang out with the
We're
fans.
going to do a watch party for the entire community.
That's awesome.
This is a big community thing. We're going to invite everybody to enjoy it. Once we make it more often, then we may make it private. But we're going to bring the whole community in and let them enjoy seeing it. CBS is going to do a live look-in, so that we'll be live on CBS when our name's announced.
Nice.
That's tremendous.
See, our network is taking care of you, Coach.
We always do. We like the good stories. Coach, have a great time.
Yeah, good
Cherish
luck.
it. And, you sound like you will be back, but really the first one's special. So have a great time, my man.
Guys, thanks so much for having me.
Be good, John.
There you go, buddy.